Doc Loves the Kids, a local Kitsap County nonprofit organization established in 2015 whose mission is to provide activities, programs, and community support for at-risk youth.
They put the you in community.
Doc Loves the Kids.
Welcome to Uncommon Courtesy.
We give you the courtesy of conversation.
That's uncommonly spoke of.
I'm D-Mac.
I'm Wesley.
And this is the show. Hey, don't forget to like, listen, subscribe, man. You know what I'm saying? We going now. Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff going on, man. A lot of stuff going on.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take full responsibility. We keep on doing this every other week. You know what I mean? But I was on vacation.
Yeah.
My dude held it down while I was gone. We're going to definitely show some of the vacation trips, some of the vacation clips. I mean, I do appreciate you guys hanging in there with us. We definitely got a lot of stuff that we're about to drop. Also, Sundays at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Make sure y'all tune in. We're doing live shows every Sunday. We would love to hear from y'all. Love to hear, you know, the ups and downs of how you guys feel about what we said during the week or what we didn't say during the week.
Yeah, what news stories is going on in your world. You know what I'm saying? Every conversation you want to have. And I don't even blame you for what happened, right? I blame security because this man went out the country, tried to log in. They was like, nope.
We're not letting you in here. You might be they thinking I'm from some country right now that we'll leave unnamed.
Yeah,
that more than likely has done a lot of hacking or done a lot of fraudulent things in our country.
They was like, nope. He's like, send me some codes. I'm like, they ain't working. I was like, they ain't gonna work, yo.
they
gonna shut me down too.
Who else did they just shut down? Who else they shut down like that?
Diddy got arrested. So I got a little article here. We all know he got arrested. Diddy anticipating his arrest paid off his mortgage on his $48.5 million mansion. New details about Sean Combs' Miami mansion were uncovered as part of his bond hearing this week. In March, the feds raided a hip-hop mogul Star Island house, where they say they found supplies including narcotics, 1,000 gallons of baby oil, and lubricant for freak-offs, elaborate performances between female victims and male commercial sex workers that prosecutors allege Diddy arranged and filmed. A grand jury indicted Combs on charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracies, and illegal transportation of people for sex. He has pleaded not guilty. You know what's crazy? It's like when Bootsy said something, right? And it made sense, but they just jumped on him. He was like, look, if you fly somebody out just to fly them out and y'all having sex, they know what it is. It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Man, this is how I feel about it. I've flown women out. Not for the purposes of sex. We don't want to get into that now, but you know what I mean? That's what you do. As a man, you're almost expected to take care of certain things. If you meet someone online or any other setting and they live somewhere else, it's either they're going to fly themselves out or you fly them out, or however it goes, however the arrangement goes between you two. But it's weird that they're acting like this. It's like if I go pick you up from your house, I got to pay for gas still. There's still an expense in that. If I take you out to eat, you know what I mean? And then buy you some drinks. And then all of a sudden we go back. Is that paying for it too? You know, it's just weird.
That's what I be saying, bro. It's like, I don't like to go on dates because sometimes I feel like I'm paying for sex.
But I mean, I think that the total arrangement in life of men and women has always been this way. You know what I mean? Not where you're paying for something, but you know what I mean? Everyone says if a man's 50-50 with you, then this, that, and the third. And women say that's like a moniker for women right now. They say it all the time. It's a big thing. A man should always, you know, us as men, we've been taught to kind of like want to be the provider anywhere it goes.
Yeah.
So if he would have told women, pay your own way to get out here, figure out your own room. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense in reality. I mean, and then they started talking about freak offs. When I was young, we would go to house parties and everyone would bring drinks and there'd be a whole bunch of alcohol in the house. And we kind of knew what was about to happen.
I mean, I had a girl who fly herself out to me, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, that's kind of what she flew out from. I'm not going to say where she came from. It don't matter, but she flew herself out and I expected sex. Like, I didn't buy her ticket. I picked her up with my gas.
With your gas. Ain't it crazy that we have to like explain this? Like, we're grown.
Yeah.
Who cares? I mean, to me, man, I don't even care if he paid for I don't even care.
Yeah,
that's
people
his
do
business.
it all the time.
I mean, yeah, who cares? Who really? Like I said this about Trump when they were like, "Oh, he paid the woman to shut up about the thing." Who cares? Who cares, man? Nobody cares about that kind of stuff. What about those 32 kids who were in Cleveland who were found after they're like being sex trafficked because you found them after all this time? That's what we care about. Go find those type of things that are going on. Don't go find two consenting adults who one of them may have paid for the other one's ticket, but the other one had to go to the airport. They had to go to the air. They had to pack their own clothes, set their own stuff up, and go to the airport. Nobody forced them to go to the airport. Yeah. It's different if someone took something from them when they arrived. If something
like he can't hold hostages. Like people, I said this too. It's like it was easier. It's so much easier now to take people down because black folks are just jumping on it.
We'll be so happy.
I would know Diddy. I mean, I feel bad for him. But I mean, he's done a lot of stuff. I mean, like
he's done something. I mean, look, if we, I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
But the separate thing when you look at it is okay. The Cassie thing, that's separate to me. He did that. I mean, and Cassie got a check for it. And
well, let's look at that too. Think about it.
Absolutely.
The video, she wrote this. She sued him for money. The paperwork got out there. He's like, cool. Hey, y'all pay you whatever. Then they released that video of him fighting or attacking her. He attacked her in that hotel, right? But they waited at the day after the statute of limitation was up. You know what I'm saying? So the whole thing, somebody had that tape the whole time.
For years.
It happened, years.
He paid for it, but he paid them, I think,
but
$50,000.
Right? But what kind of
someone else had it?
What kind of step is that? Where they could have released it to have him arrested, but they waited. So you can see it's orchestrated. I mean, they're going to take it down, and we're going to make it worse because we just jump on the band.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it at all. I'm like this. And then they put out text messages that a lady put out that she sent to Diddy a day after the Cassie stuff. After Cassie filed her lawsuit or whatever she did, put out all that paperwork on him. The lady sends him a text message. Oh, this makes me feel like I'm reliving something all over again. And I don't know if something happened with that situation or not, so I'm not commenting directly on that. But why are you putting out a text message that was put out the day after this thing is released? I mean,
everybody, they know Diddy got money and everybody want a piece of it. They don't care how bad they make him look at this point. I mean, did he do some dumb stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is he doing dumb stuff right now? No.
I mean, and I'm like, why are you holding him in prison?
And everyone was fine with it as long as y'all was getting paid.
How are you holding exactly? And how are you holding him in prison? And you're not even accusing him of a murder or anything like that. You're accusing him of something that he should have the right to be out on bond and fight. They're like, oh, he's contacted these other people. Well, they were not victims or witnesses or anything during that time. Not until you filed a case against him were these people victims or witnesses of anything.
Did you see all the people that stepped down within 24 hours of him getting arrested?
Yeah, there's a lot of people's got out of here.
Look, I got the list. Kevin Lyles, music exec, Eric Pryor, president of Fine Arts, Jonathan Holloway, Rucker president, Robert B. Davis, general manager of Martha's Vineyards, Chris Cameron, lacrosse coach, Kathy Newsom, Bay City mayor, Lamika McLiver, New York City councilman. No, that's all of them. That's all the ones. Yeah, those are the ones. I thought there was more on here.
There are some guys here
we go.
Sony Music or something too, right?
Allison Green, Tish Dean, Craig Mallard, Fifth Ward, Geneva, Joseph Kushner is a doctor, Mike Foster, president of Nexon Travel, Susie Williams, executive director, Roman Matsuri, he's the CEO, Henry Levitz, chief prosecutor, Matthew Tittlebond, MFA director. Hey, man, they got a lot. There's a lot of people.
In all honesty, man, if they're not messing with kids and they're not raping people, period, I'm gonna say people. I'm not just gonna say women because they say that a lot of men get raped too. So things happen.
Yeah, it happens.
You know what I mean? But
it does.
If they're not doing these things,
I've had a woman sexually assault me once.
I don't mean to say at you. That's horrible that I laughed.
That's how people would say. I mean, like, how could you let her do it? But it was like,
hey, listen, the way you just said it, you made it sound funny. I'm gonna put it towards that. But you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna keep it real. That stuff does happen. I'd
rather have it sound funny than me sound like a punk that got taken advantage of by a woman. It happens though.
No, it does happen. I can vouch for that myself. That kind of stuff does happen.
You might wake up and be like, "What the hell's going on here?" Yeah.
That's guaranteed money. I've seen it happen in my own personal. I've seen it. You know what I mean? It's just real deal type stuff. But anyway, point of it is,
you seen it. You ain't say nothing. You worse than the diddler.
I didn't see it. It might have been a personal. It might have been a personal.
Switch up your story, sir. Where's your location at? Let us know.
Hey, no, but all honesty, man, I just don't see. I'm like, man, there's gonna be a lot of stuff that comes out with this. Like 1,000 bottles of baby oil. He had a freak off. Who cares?
No, I'm saying, who like cares?
This. You know what I mean?
Show us the evidence. I want to see the evidence. I'm tired of what's that? What do they call it? Judgment. Public opinion.
Yeah,
I'm not doing
court
that.
of public opinion. The court.
I'm not doing that with nobody no more. Show me the evidence. Yeah, no,
this is what they do to everyone. Yeah, that's what I mean. And even okay, I'm listening. 50 Cent. He said something like, he was like, this is something I said to people a while ago. It's this company called Diageo. They're major spirits, which is with like alcohol distribution company. Jay-Z hit them for like $1.3 billion lawsuit. He hit him. He won, because what they were doing was they were taking his brands. They were supposed to put them in all their stores. There's like two major spirits distributors. One of them's like Sunroy or something like that. The other one's Diageo. Don't get the other one, the Sunroy, I'm not absolutely sure, but that's the one that 50 Cent had his brands with. Diageo is what had Jay-Z's. They had Ciroc and stuff that and De Leon and stuff that Puffy was with. So what they were doing was they were like, okay, we're going to distribute your alcohol, but they were only putting their alcohol in like urban markets.
Urban areas, yeah.
So they weren't putting it everywhere like they were putting everyone else's brands everywhere. So that means he was like, hey, this is how much money I lost because you were keeping me in urban areas rather than doing what the contract said. And he won $1.3 billion. And right after that, who jumped on that thing next? Puffy was like, damn, they did the same thing to me, which they did. Yeah. But you got to look at Puffy. He had Ciroc. He was an owner, but he was making like $60 million a year off Ciroc. Then he had De Leon and brought his own, and he went and got his own brands of liquor. He had bigger brands to me than what Jay-Z had. Yeah. Ciroc was bigger than anything that Jay-Z. I mean, it may not have cost as much as Ace of Spades, but you were selling way more vodka than what you're selling champagne.
People were dancing with Ciroc in their hands at all times.
So he was probably going to hit for another $1 billion. They're like, oh man, I can go spend $5 million and get rid of you. I can go get this people over here to bring up the stuff that we all know is true about you. You have free. You're known to have freak offs. Black people like, oh my God, freak offs. We have freak nicks. Think about that.
Nicks. You know, Freak Nick wasn't bad at first. You know, Freak Nick was a good gathering.
Off the chain,
if you watch the documentary of Freak Nick, bro, you're like, damn, what it was supposed to be and then what it turned into. And it wasn't supposed to be super freaky like that. It was just you got a bunch of creepy
Listen to the name. Listen to the name, bro. There wasn't just dudes, bro.
You got to watch the documentary. You got to watch the documentary.
Off the chain too. Them girls went off the chain.
You got to watch the documentary. At first, it was just a college party. The colleges got together in the documentary. Then they said what threw it off is that people started coming from out of state that weren't even college, and the dudes were seeing all the women getting dancing and shaking their butts. So the next year they're coming in there, they're grabbing women and doing all stuff. And the city of Atlanta was like, "No, we're not having it." So they would make
there was a lot of rape probably going on.
Sexual assault. Yeah, I mean, not. You got to watch the documentary. It was good. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't. I mean, they talked about one girl. She was like, "Look, I escaped these men. This guy, somebody helped me and pulled over and helped me because she's like, I almost didn't get away from them." Yeah. But like, they made the street where in Atlanta, it's like somehow you had to you missed your turn. They make you miss it. You just keep driving in circles for 5 hours. Some people are running out of gas, and but it wasn't supposed to be freaky. It was just called Freak Nick because they had a picnic, but it's called Freak Nick. Because back then, freak was like,
Nah, bro. Freak back then meant the same thing as it meant today, bro. The mugs was freaky back then. You remember the shirts they used to wear to see through? Come on, brother. We know how they.
When I saw Freak Nick, I saw freaky stuff like women half naked and stuff.
Me too, man. On top of cars, it was going down.
But when you watch the documentary, they tell you, no, it started off as just a college party and they was just kicking it, having a good time.
Listen, I went to a frat party before and the dudes came out, man. It was crazy. Like, it was a fraternity, there's a bunch of different people. There was women and everybody there. But the dude from the frat party, it came out butt naked, dancing to some song. Man, this is what colleges has been about for a long time. We're not going to downplay it, but I know what you mean. They're telling you one thing, but trust me, Freak Nick was not. But anyway, they're talking about Puffy having.
And you have a visual memory.
That's crazy. That's horrible. But listen, they talking about freak offs. I'm like, man, they showed a bathroom, looked like it had a bunch of baby. I don't know if it was really Puff's bathroom or not, but it looked like luxurious. It looked like it was supposed to. Like if a girl walks in here, she's gonna be like, oh, let me grab a bottle of this baby oil. Man, listen,
isn't that what you're supposed to do? Hey, I'm trying to
don't even know,
man.
Listen, bro.
You know what I'm saying? If there were sexual assaults going on at Diddy's house, people would know. They would come out. They could get paid back then.
Long time ago. Yeah, they got paid from Puffy back when they burnt. They had that house that remember that party he had. Then the building burnt down or some shit, and people got killed. They sued him then. Whenever anything happened back in the day, they would sue him then for it. But to me, I'm like, I won't say nothing ever happened, but I don't always believe it was his fault. Things happen when you're having parties. People do things. You got corners of your house, things happening, shit happens, bro. You know what I mean? I'm saying, like, did you go back to the next party? That's what we need to find out. If you went to more than one and it happened at one before or something like that, I don't believe you. You know
what's crazy? This it might be a conspiracy. Actually, it's a real story. The guy that told it, his name is Illseed. He created allhiphop.com. Is this about Diddy? No. He would never tell me. I asked him years later too, after I'm gonna tell you this story. I asked him years later and he said, no, I still can't tell you. And he's like, the guy's still a predominant person in the music industry in New York. And he was saying that some guy, like a rapper dude, he would invite people over to fly people out or whatever, like dudes or whatever, artists, and get them in a limo, and they drive around a while, and the guys would get drunk, and then he would sexually assault them in the limo after they got incapacitated or whatever, or too drunk to fight him off. But he would never, and I was like, his name's Illseed. Illseed is the creation of all hip-hop gossip sites, because it was allhiphop.com, and then Illseed had the gossip section, and everything comes from that, because the gossip section is what we read now in hip-hop sites and stuff. It's all gossip.
I got you.
Yeah, but I mean, that's one of the stories.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah,
I mean, we're gonna definitely have to. I feel like
we're gonna keep you up to date with Diddy.
We got to, man. But let me